Hi, my name's Mark. I'm one of the pastors here at Trillium. Long time ago, I was a church musician in a Lutheran congregation in Hamilton. And where I lived and where the church was a bunch of residential streets. And I had to drive up these little residential streets, one to another, string them together to get to work. I remember one Sunday morning in the summer, beautiful sunny day, warm, just such a peaceful day. I'm driving up one of these residential streets. And all of a sudden, these two birds come out of the side, and they're kind of coming sideways to the car. And I could have put the brakes on, but I never imagined they wouldn't veer off. And they almost like they flew right underneath the car. And I had this bad feeling come over me that they weren't going to make it. And I looked in the rearview mirror as I'm driving, and I see this little bird on the pavement. And in that moment, I have to decide what I'm going to do. What do I do? Do I just keep driving, just try to ignore it, or do I stop, or what do I do? And finally, I listened to that voice that said, stop. So I pulled over and I walked back to this little bird. When I looked down, I could see blood coming out of its body. Its one wing was obviously broken. And just that look of its face, its dark black eyes just looking right up at me. And in that moment, I got to tell you, my heart broke for this little thing. It just broke. Sometimes, in life, when our heart breaks, it's hard for us. And we often, when we come to situations where there's real hurt in life, we want to look away, or we want to find another way around it, because it just feels so helpless for us, because there doesn't seem to be anything we can do about it. And there's a story in the Bible. Peter and John are going up to the temple. This is just after the Holy Spirit's come upon the disciples. And they're going into the temple, and they're going in through what's called the beautiful gate, the beautiful door. And this beggar's lying basically out in front of them. This guy's been put there every day for so long that people don't even really even notice him anymore. And he's asking people for money. And I don't know about you, but for me, I in those circumstances, I often try to look away. When someone comes towards me panhandling for stuff, I just try to ignore them or find another way around it. And in this case, Peter and John, they don't. They look right at the man. The scriptures say they look right at him. In fact, they say to the man, look at us. And the man is anticipating getting money from them. He asks for money, but they don't have anything to give. We've been looking at doing the stuff at Trillium, doing the stuff of Jesus, and what it means to allow the Holy Spirit to live within us, to allow the Holy Spirit to move through us, so that we can do the stuff of Jesus in life. And one of the great blessings that comes from that is we don't have to look away anymore. We don't have to look away, because we understand that the architect of life is, in some sense, behind all things. And even if in the moment we don't understand what's happening, nonetheless, we can trust that the goodness of God is bringing everything to its proper completion. The promise of Pentecost is that there's a power of healing in us. When you're in a lot of pain and you're struggling in life, it's hard to smile or to laugh. And yet, nonetheless, the miracle-making power of the Spirit is something that brings a smile to our face. Wonder, astonishment, amazement is the true meaning of the word miracle. And the truth is, of course, that we can be the conduits of this life-giving, miraculous power that brings healing to circumstances. So we don't have to look away, because we have something now to offer people if we learn how to let go and let God. I've been doing some music again. After 20 years, I've been starting to play the piano in a more significant way. One of the things that stopped me from being a really great musician is I just couldn't let go in the deepest way and allow music to move through me. So often those of us who follow Jesus, we just don't know how to let go and allow Spirit to move through us to bring that healing presence to the world. But we can learn. I'm learning in my piano practicing to do this really meticulous, methodical practicing that allows me to just let go. And we can do that in our study of our faith, and to study even the Spirit. We can learn the methodical practice that allows us, when the moment arrives, just to let go. I'm looking at that little bird on the roadway, and I'm not sure what to do in the moment. Even 25 years ago, no clue what to do. And then all of a sudden, time stands still. And this breeze started to come out of nowhere. And I just felt the presence of God with me and with this little bird. And I just sat there on the curb with the little bird, and the three of us, me, the bird, and little sparrow, and God together, with no time. And the little bird died. And see, that's okay in the ultimate sense, because the final miracle occurred and that little bird's spirit went back to its maker. And that's the promise to us, that no matter where we are in life or what happens to us, there's always the presence of God. In the hard places, in the hurting places, when we extend our hands, there God lives.